child screaming in the background.
A little bit.
Hey guys,
Welcome back to Forward Farming.
Happy New Year, Happy 2024. How are you?
Oh man, I'm cold.
It's not fun out.
No,
It's
I mean,
miserable.
yeah, like we can't complain. It's been a fairly, I wouldn't say mild winter, but it hasn't been that bad. But this week, with all the snow and now the temperatures have plummeted and ready for spring.
Yeah, winter's here, and it is a good humbling. Like, you're still in Wisconsin, you're not getting out of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty
So hopefully you guys are all staying nice and toasty warm this weekend, and hopefully everybody had a good Christmas and New Year and everything else that we missed. We enjoyed some nice quality time with our families and took a nice little break. And you're gonna hear Porter crying in the background. It's been a month for us. I don't know what's going on, but it was just like a switch was flipped in the start of January.
Oh no.
We hit the twos hard.
I'm terrible twos for a reason. I think he's getting closer.
Yeah, we have. I'm in our upstairs, and we have a little doggy gate type thing that we close the stairs off to. And I think he heard me start talking, and he just got real mad.
Kids are so good at that. Like, they can be just doing their own thing, and then they hear you start talking, and they're immediately next to you. So we had 2 snow days this week. We had one Friday and one Tuesday, and Friday, luckily, Joey was able to stay home with the kids so that I could go to the office because I stayed home with them Tuesday. And I told my boss, because like I don't even have PTO yet. You have to be there for like 6 months or something before you get it. And so I told my boss, I was like, I will do as much as I can, like with 3 children. And I actually did pretty good. But like if I had to make a phone call or anything, I literally had to go lock myself in our bedroom to make the phone call. Otherwise, they were playing or watching TV, and then you'd start talking, and they're just like right next to you, asking what you're doing. And I'm like, come on now.
Yeah. So anyway, it's been great. It's been fun. But holy cow, I'm ready to go back outside.
Do you guys do much when it's this cold, or do you just, I mean, do you have to keep like running the irrigation and stuff, or is it all iced over?
They just put their first flood on Thursday, Friday night. So everything is froze over now, thankfully. But that was the first time I think that was like the longest we've gone without putting a flood on in a long time, like into the winter season. So we were due. So everything's covered and protected, and it'll stay that way until it decides to melt. But we're just kind of waiting on the next cold snap. So I think it's supposed to like next Friday, this coming Friday, it's supposed to be like 3 degrees. And then by Monday or Tuesday, it's supposed to be in the 40s again. So I hope it's not like that all winter long, because my sinuses are not having a fun time with that. Anytime we have that big swing, it's just...
Oh, gosh, yeah. And it sucks even more for, like, the animals. Pneumonia.
Yes. Yeah, like, over Christmas is when it was so wet. Was it, like, wet and, like, mild or something? And, like, everything was getting sick?
Yeah.
Myself included?
It was, yeah, like, nothing would freeze, and, oh, it was a mess. I was going to ask you, I know that everything's flooded now, but since we got snow on Tuesday, I don't know how much snow you guys got. Does that like affect how flooding goes? Like, can the snow damage them if they're not flooded?
No, the snow is usually okay. It's just when it starts to get like bitter cold is when we have to worry about it. So we got most of our snow. We had a little bit like on Monday or Tuesday, and then we really got hit Thursday night into Friday was like our big day. So that was the day that they were flooding. So as they're trying to put water on it, snowing on top of it. So the water is like absorbing the snow, so it makes it go slower. So it's like absorbing it. You would think so, but it doesn't like turn into water. It just like turns into slush, and then it just kind of sits there. So you're trying to put water on top of that and then push all that stuff up. So it doesn't make for the best ice when that's happening. So like the snow gets stuck in the water and then it creates a lot of air pockets. So if you need to like drive on top of it when we do our sanding a little bit later on, it makes really brittle ice. So it's not the best to make the first layer with the snow on top of it. But hopefully we have more cold temperatures coming up without the snow. So then it makes stronger ice. But it's fine. They got it all done. And there's
Good.
like, I don't know, 20 inches of water out there right now. So they'll leave that on for like a week to 10 days, and then they pull any extra water off so that water or that ice just kind of like settles a little bit, and then there's air pocket between the ice and the vines so they can breathe for the rest of the winter.
So fascinating.
It is.
Like, it just doesn't make sense to me, but it does, but it doesn't.
Right. It doesn't make sense to use ice to protect from cold.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. We do everything a little funky in these neck of the woods.
We're cranberry farmers.
We're cranberry farmers. What we do doesn't make sense. But it still works.
That trend is just, some of them are really funny, and then others are like, come on now.
Yeah.
As with all trends. So hey, what have you been doing otherwise? I don't think we really talked about like resolutions or anything like that.
No.
Honestly, if I'm being honest, I in the past have picked like a word, you know. I've never been big on resolutions. I would pick like a word, but this year, I don't know what it was. I had no, I didn't want to do it. And like every time I would read everyone else's, I was just like, eh. Like I don't know what was wrong with me.
Yeah, everyone was posting like the ins and outs for 2024.
Oh yeah, that was a trendy thing. Yeah, I don't know, I couldn't get behind it. I feel like too because every time I do, I almost like set myself up for disappointment. Like I always say I want to be like more organized. It's never going to happen, and I've accepted that, and that's okay. So I'm not going to do that. So I don't really have a word or anything like that. Do you? I mean, I guess do you have any like goals for this year? I do have goals, but not resolutions.
Yeah, I've never liked putting that vibe out there for the public to see because like if it doesn't come true, then I'm like, well, I feel like an idiot. So I try to make like smaller short-term goals. Like I don't want to be like, oh, I want to do this, this, and this in 2024, and then have someone like come back in 2025 and fact check me and be like, well, you didn't do this, so you're a loser.
I was just looking at your old post, and you actually did not run a half marathon in 2024.
Yeah, so I don't like doing that. That's too much of a commitment for me. I don't like commitments like that. So instead, I don't know. I guess this year, just I haven't posted anything on social media at all since I did like a private post for Christmas on my profile. And that's kind of been it. So I'm kind of just taking time and just really focusing on like what's going to be important for me. This is so like finding healthy habits that I want to continue into the new year and just kind of like making my own fun every day or like romanticizing every day in a certain way. So like finding things that usually annoy me and like finding ways to make it fun or like, okay,
So
we're going to be stuck inside a lot. How can I make today fun and like prioritizing happiness every day? How is that? Does that make it sound better? My life is boring. I'm trying to make it fun and exciting.
I was just gonna ask when Porter is screaming, how do you make that fun?
Okay, so I take it as a challenge and I'm trying to find out like what works for him and I both. So is that like ignoring you or is that like, oh, you're rolling around in your tantrum? Are you acting like a puppy? What a good puppy. And then that like kind of like snaps his train of thought or like he's been having like these satanic meltdowns lately and it's kind of scary. Like the other day I put him down for a nap and he wasn't ready for a nap and he was like almost purple crying, you know, when they just like scream and scream until they're purple. And I'm like, I went and got water. Like he would not stop screaming whatever I did, and I didn't want to break and like take him out of his crib because you're not the
Then
boss
he
of me. I'm
knows
the
that's what he
boss.
needs to do. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just got some water and I just like splashed it in his face
You
to
should
try
get
to
a squirt bottle,
like
like for a
he
cat.
likes it. He
Oh.
likes it. So I just like got a handful and I'm like, ugh, stop. And I mean it stopped him and
Oh,
he
good.
looked at me and then he started screaming again. But I mean like
Oh.
so I'm like trying to make games out of it for either myself or him. Be like, this is a new challenge. How do I what's gonna work today? So
Well,
it
and literally what works today is probably not going to work tomorrow, which is even more
right,
fun.
right. So it's always just like, what new ideas can I come up with today? Like, ooh, what new activities? Ooh, you can help me do this. So trying to like stay more involved and be just like present in his life and kind of find a new creative outlet too for myself. So it's not always just like I don't want to rely on social media as like my main creative outlet. So what else can I do to like feed that creative side of my brain? So for Christmas I got this paint kit that I'm really excited to try out to see if I like painting, or is that going to be through photography, or is that, like find a new outlet so it's not so much pressure of just relying on social media because that kind of sucks sometimes. So
Mm-hmm.
just like finding little ways to be happy. I think like happiness is like my new that's my new thing because I haven't found that in a long time. That's depressing, but just finding new ways to stay happy and entertained for everybody.
I like that.
It's hard, very hard.
It is. And it's like it's hard too when you want to be in a certain mood and you like can't get yourself there.
It's hard
Like
just
that
being tired.
yeah, that's the worst for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's
It
like
is.
cuz you just I don't know, you like wonder like what's wrong with me? Like why I just want to be like happy and energetic. Why can I not be?
Mm-hmm. Like this last week or two especially, my parents are gone, and so I don't really have anyone else to take Porter during the day, so it's been a lot of him and I time. And Dan, they're doing a lot of driving right now. And so they're working through the lunch hour, so Dan's not coming home for lunch. So it's really just Porter and I all day from, the time he gets up until 5 o'clock or whenever Dan gets home. So it's just a lot of one-on-one time. And it's just like, we're not doing a lot during the day, but holy, like it's draining. So
Mm-hmm.
when you do have time during like nap time or something, you just I'm just like sitting there like, I really want to do this, but I just need to catch my breath and just chill for a minute because I'm not going to get this again until I go to bed. So it's just like, what do you prioritize and how do you prioritize? Like, I don't know what's going to help some days. So it's all just like, it's all up in the air, but that's fine. That's
Yeah.
fine. It's just a temporary thing.
Yeah. And I think sometimes too, like obviously in the summer it'll be easier because you'll be able to get outside more, but like that's just another thing with like rural living, I guess. I think you probably have it worse off than I do, but like you can't just drive into town and like go to a children's I don't know like what
Museum
they've
or
got for
something.
yeah, like it's that kind of stuff is far away. And for us like we have Dubuque not too far away, so we have some options, but like also when the roads are bad, like you don't want to take your kids out and risk that for just to get out of the house. So yeah, for us too, it's with these snow days especially, it's been like, okay, what can we do? We got Sophia some like board games for Christmas, so we've been trying to kind of play those, but at the same time, Jack's just too young for that. Like we got this fun bingo game and he doesn't understand the concept, so he like destroys it. So it's like, okay, we can only do this when Jack is sleeping. So it's just constantly trying to find things to do. The kids, does Porter like the snow?
Uh, yes and no. He likes being in the snow, but hates getting dressed for the snow.
Yeah. Our kids today was like the first day where we were like, okay, you actually cannot go outside. Like
Yeah.
they they just loved being outside. Even when it was like blizzarding on Friday, they had
It
all
was
their
still
ski
nice
stuff.
out.
Yeah, I mean, it was well, we're really windy at our farm. It was disgusting. But they wanted to go out, so I was like, you know, get your dress, like go out. When you get cold, just come back in the house. They were out there for a good half hour just playing on the big snow piles. And like then when Jackson came in, he was like crying because he was so cold. I was like, I told you it was cold out, but it's nice to be able to like get him outside. But this week is going to be a different story.
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to. So we're taking our first flight the first week in February. We're going down to Florida to visit my grandma. So I'm like stockpiling on like small things that we can pack for the airplane. So I'm trying to decide like, do I take him out now and like get him used to playing that, or do I just hold on to it? So I'm trying to find like these busy boards and like small little cars that he can play with because he's all about trucks and tractors and stuff. So I found like this little bendy ramp type thing that you can stick on a window, and then it's kind of
Oh,
like
cool.
a slope, and then you can make little loop-de-loops with it, and it comes with like a car. So I don't know if it's a magnetic strip type thing. So we're playing a lot with cars and just like we're gonna start playing airport pretty soon. So like getting him used to carrying a backpack through like security and stuff, and then taking stuff out of his backpack and pretending to go through the security, and then like playing plane and like doing the takeoff type thing. So that'll be fun. Dan has been like literally shitting pickles for 6 months since we booked the flight. He's like, I don't know how he's gonna sit still for 3 hours. It's at night. Um, he's not gonna sleep. It's gonna be fine.
I'm sure it'll be
It's
fine.
It'll be fine. He's gonna be strapped in his car seat. It'll be fine. And then there's like all these news things coming out with all these problems that are going on with planes right now. So I'm just like, oh, this is
This is good
great.
for the anxiety.
This
Thank
is
you.
great. Yeah. Did you see like last week or 2 weeks ago there was an Alaskan airline, a flight that there was like an emergency exit door, but there wasn't an emergency exit door there, so they just like put a plug in the plane so there wasn't a door, but there was a spot for the door. It blew out in the middle of a flight. Like the side of this plane
Isn't
just
that really
flew
dangerous?
out.
Like, don't you need oxygen then?
Yeah, so all like every oxygen mask dropped down and they had to do a quick turnaround and land again. But thankfully, no one was sitting right in that exit seat where the thing flew out of.
If they
But
didn't have
when
their
they,
seatbelt on, they would have been bye bye.
yeah. So the people that were supposed, there was two seats that were empty right next to where the thing shot out, and the people missed their flight by like 5 minutes. Otherwise, they would have been sitting in that spot. They had
That's
their first flight was delayed, and they ended up missing that flight by like 5 minutes. Otherwise, they were supposed to be in those seats. And those seats, when they landed, were like ripped up from the bottom of the plane. Everyone was fine. So,
wow.
so yeah.
I'm sure that won't
Anyway,
happen to you guys, but
no,
that's
no,
wild.
it
Don't
is.
sit by the door.
I think we're sitting towards the back, so we should be fine. But
That's crazy. I didn't hear about that.
oh yeah, so if you have anxiety about, I should have said, if you have anxiety about planes, don't listen to that story. But
Trigger
oops,
one.
a delayed
Hopefully he
trigger
doesn't
warning.
listen to that.
Sorry.
Oh, that's funny.
Sorry. Sorry. Oh, anyway, what are your goals for the year?
My goals. Oh, wow. Yeah, we gotta wrap this up soon too. My goals for the year are kind of just taking better care of myself, I think. I got a treadmill right after Christmas. Um, and then I was just kind of like walking on it and it was fine, whatever. But then I ended up trying out the Peloton app. I did not get a Peloton treadmill. Like your girl is not in a tax bracket, but the the one that I got is like I can like hook it up. I can like Bluetooth it to the Peloton app, if that makes sense. So I've been doing like walks and walk runs with the app, and I love it. Like, I don't mind walking and running. I don't really like doing it outside though, because one, I can't just leave the kids like in the house and go. I mean, there's not much that I can like run. Two, we're on country roads, which our road is not super busy, but like people drive like jackasses sometimes, and I don't want to get hit by a car. And then also, it's just like I don't know, it's kind of hilly and stuff, which I know is like good, but I would rather control that myself, if that makes sense. So the
Hmm.
Peloton app has been really awesome. I don't know, I've just been doing all these things, but it's they go by so fast, and like I have so much more fun doing them and like getting through it than if I were to try to do it on my own. So that's been fun. I want to keep doing that. I did sign up for, I think it starts tomorrow and I still don't have weights, but Andrea, that advocate, was doing like a strength training 6 week sort of thing. And I don't know why, but I was like, oh, that sounds like fun. I just signed up. I love Andrea though. It'll be fine. So I got to get weights for that because I'm pretty sure that starts tomorrow. But I know it's like geared towards farmers, like just to be like stronger in the things that we do every day. So I think that'll be kind of nice, just to help out with that. And then, yeah, just continuing to like take better care of my body and try to cook a little bit better, I guess. I don't know. I would like love-hate relationship with veggies and fruits because we like them, but I feel like you have to go shopping so much to like have fresh ones. Like they just don't stay good very long. So it's kind of, I don't know. But at the same time, like Becca, you literally go to grocery stores multiple times in a day, just pick them up and bring a cooler with you. So I don't know, that's that, but just trying like new recipes and stuff to make it a little bit different. We don't eat out a lot just because we don't have anything near us, but we eat like the same kinds of things all the time. So I'm trying to branch out.
Yeah. A couple like last week or 2 weeks ago, we kind of talked about like I had a Facebook group before harvest 2 years ago where it was like posting healthy recipes and like holding each other accountable. So we talked about like getting that going again and like so maybe that'll be good. Maybe that'll
You
give me a
should do that.
project to work on. Yeah. I'll circle back with you on that.
All right.
Make it a little bit more official maybe next week or something. We can talk more about that when we have a little bit more time and hopefully when our mine specifically technology wants to work a little faster. That should
Yeah,
just be
poor
my goal. I feel
Amber.
like that was my goal last year was getting faster technology.
Well, you
And
got faster internet, right? So now it's
I
just
did.
the computer just
Now,
has to get on board with it.
yeah, yeah. Maybe getting a decent laptop would help. Future
That's,
me problems.
yeah.
Anyway,
All right.
I'm excited for this year. We have a lot of cool guests lined up for you guys. But as always, if you have any suggestions for us, we're always open to hearing who you guys want us to talk to or what you want us to talk about. Because this is a podcast for you guys and we want to make you guys happy. So I know Becca has to get going. She's at basketball practice right now.
Such a sports mom.
But anyway, thank you guys for listening, and we're excited for 2024 with you guys. If you haven't yet, make sure you leave us a 5-star review, preferably on whatever platform you listen to us on, Apple, Spotify, wherever. We'd always appreciate that. Or you can always leave us a review on Facebook too. That's cool. But we love seeing those from you guys. Let us know that you're still listening and that you still care.
Is this
Otherwise, just hop in.
is this season 5?
I don't know. Is it? Yeah, I think it
Is it the
is.
start of
Isn't it?
it? It was season 4. I didn't know if we were starting over with the new year.
Yes, yes, we are
That's
starting with a new year. Season 5. Holy cow.
wow. Look at us. Who would have
We're
thought?
still making it out. Honestly, not me after our first day. That was rough. Anyway, thank you guys for listening, and we're excited to spend the new year with you. And yeah, we'll see you next week.
Bye.